Hi beauty fam, welcome back to MikiCarrBeauty. Today I'm going to review first impressions products I picked up from the Chanel Rouge Noir collection. I didn't pick up all the pieces because a lot of it sold out, but I also wanted to curate only and get the products that I wanted to get. So I ended up getting the Rouge Noir Confidence, the Cheek Palette and Highlight, the two Ombre Essentials limited edition, and one of the Rouge Allure lipsticks, which I have on my lips today. If you're interested in seeing my first impressions try on and review, then keep watching. Remember to comment, like, and comment down below. Helps engagement on my channel. And with that out of the way, beauty fam, let's begin this try on. So beauty fam, I am late in getting this to you, but better late than never. I have to say is that I wanted the Rouge Noir collection that came out from Chanel. This collection released at a not so great time for me, so I decided just to wait, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna stress about, like, if it sells out, it sells out, and whatever pieces I end up getting, that's the one I'm meant to get. And actually I'm glad I waited because I actually did watch one or two reviews. I usually don't do that, but I was really hoping to get the limited edition packaging in this. And it's a lipstick shade that I actually have already that's very similar in Chanel and then also in Lisa Eldridge. So I only picked up one of the shades from this collection. I picked up the Rouge Noir Confidence. Two of the eyeshadows I ended up getting from Nordstrom's. The coveted eyeshadow singles, the Ombre Essentielle. Cute packaging. Look at this. It's the burgundy kind of limited edition packaging. I do keep them. Two shades did come out with this collection. The Gris Rose 257 and then 267 Brune Rose. And that is the packaging. So kind of like a really deep burgundy. And then the Rouge Noir Confidence that was still available at the time I bought these from the Chanel.com site. So I did went directly to the Chanel website. I ended up getting this, and look how pretty she is. I love these colors. I'm because of my skin tone and season, I guess I'm a deep winter or whatever. I thought I was an autumn for a long time, but I'm pretty sure I'm a winter. These shades are just like my thing. And we'll try this on today. Again, this is a first impressions. It can be used as a face palette. I have 3 other palettes, last time I counted, that are in the similar formula, but I don't use them so much as face palettes. I really use them as blush and highlight. And then the third thing I got is, like, I actually went finally to my local Chanel beauty store over in Bellevue, and I actually got to not try on, but I swatched some of the shades, and I'll show you some here. These are the shades that they had for me to swatch. So the one with the limited edition packaging, they didn't have it for sale anymore, and she said they're not going to restock, but I wanted to swatch it anyway. And that's the one that's the deep one, and I'm like, you know what, I have so many in that shade already. And then I ended up looking at the one that I thought I wouldn't like, but it's a little bit more warm tone. That was the one I got. So she packaged it really beautiful, this really cute bow for Lunar New Year. Maybe this for the holidays, I'm not sure. But for lunar holidays for the Asian zodiac, it is Year of the Horse. So I love that the little horses are running around. And so let me just pull out what she put in here. Oh, nice. She gave me a sample of 2 perfumes, number 5, and then what is this, the new one, the Chance perfume. And then she put in a little Lunar New Year card, Year of the Horse, and then she wrapped up really nicely the lipstick. Okay, so let me pull that out. So this is really nice when you can actually go to the essay and then work with someone directly. So if you live nearby a Chanel boutique, I recommend it. So the same packaging, burgundy on the outside, and then the shade is 377 Audacious, or maybe it means audacious, I'm not sure, but let's pull that out. It's the regular packaging. It doesn't have limited packaging, but it has that pop, and then the lipstick is here. So that is the shade I got. Because of my tone, I can do either warm or cool, but I ended up getting this one just because, I don't know, maybe it just was calling me that day. I have a lot of berry tones. So let's open these. It's kind of like an unpackaging, right, or unboxing in front of you all today. This is the 267 Brune Rose, And all the pricing will be down below. Cute packaging. I love this formula. I actually like this formula better for my eyes than the face palette. So really, really pretty. I have the 2 releases from last year. I'll do comparisons of that. And this is the cool tone one. Super pretty. This side to this side. And I'm pretty familiar with this formula. It's pretty bright, but you have to build up for these shades, which I'm not mad about. So pretty. Look at that. Oh, I love that. So that could be used either on the eye if you wanted or as a highlighter. That, oh, perfect for blushes. So I'm just gonna tell you today, I'm not going to use these on my eyes. You could probably watch other people use these on their eyes because I just know this formula really well. I have 3 others. I thought I had 3. I might have given the other ones away. I have, and I'm going to be very careful with this because kind of getting my head of myself right here, but I have the one from last year, and I actually traveled with this because they say it's supposed to be a palette. So when you're in a palette, you're like, okay, I can bring it with me. I'll use it on my eyes, on my face. Well, it's delicate, and one of these popped out, and I was so mad because this is actually one of my favorite color stories. If I knew how much I'd be using this, I would have gotten 2. This is definitely more in my wheelhouse as I get more tan. It's just beautiful. It's very like, it's very forgiving and very light and subtle. This is why I love it. I can't remember. This is the one from last year. And I always make sure to put this back on because the bottom left one popped out when traveling. So I don't travel with these anymore, even though I love it. Last year, this limited edition one came out, and this is Enchanted Night. Similar, let's see, let's do a side-by-side comparison of the colors. Okay, so that bottom left one, very similar. One is more purple than the other. So this is Enchanted Night. Ooh, super pigmented. Definitely more purple in it. And there's a bit of a sheen there versus this one in the new palette. That's definitely more, it's more matte. Okay, less shimmery, thank God. I'm not a fan of shimmer blushes. So this is definitely Enchanted Night is more purple, more blue in there, more shimmery. This one is just more of a traditional like fuchsia pink. And you can probably, yeah, diffuse it more. You can diffuse this one too, but it's like really, it pops. Go for the one that's more traditional matte, that's kind of like a pinky mauve one. So just going in with like these super old like Sonia G brushes. It's the one with like the thick handle, right when she like kind of started back in the day. And I'm pretty familiar with this formula. It's made in Italy. They're more like a buildable kind of formula. And we'll see if this shows up on me because it is pretty light. Very cool toned. I think if you're lighter than me and even have like a an olive complexion, this might look really pretty on you. I'm thinking of my sister. Like this would look really pretty on her. She's about like 2 or 3 shades lighter than I am, and she has a stronger olive tone than me. Okay, so that is the bottom left one. Actually, it's like the lightest pink one. So if you're kind of wanting like a super light makeup day, I would say this is really pretty. I think if you're deeper than me, this is probably not, I'm going to guess, a not really great shade. It's going to be too light. But for those days, if I was wearing like a mauve pink outfit, I would pick this color. And what I'm doing is like probably over blushing because I want you to be able to see this shade. Okay, so that is the blush of this one right here. A Sonia G Cheek Pro. I'm gonna go into this deeper one here. It looks like it has the most kind of like, I don't want to say shimmer, but there's definitely a sheen here. One here. Ooh, she's pigmented. Okay, definitely pigmented. Definitely has a sheen. If you're my complexion or deeper, it's definitely gonna show up. I think this is so pretty. If you don't like, it does have a sheen, so if you're one of those people that don't like having a sheen on their blush, you might not like this, but I don't think it's like overly offensive. I have to say that I didn't buy so much blush last year, and the only blush I bought, which I don't like, sorry, not sorry. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's the formula or the product I got. I got the Make Me Blush Jazz from YSL, and I just don't like how it's so shimmery. I don't really like this at all. Yeah, I just like my least favorite blush I've bought in a while. Beautiful. I love this color. And I just know what shades work for me. Jewel tones look really good on my complexion. I was going to wear a pink shirt today, but so I was like, that's too much. But I picked kind of a jewel toned top that I knew would complement whatever makeup I was doing today. Super pretty. Okay, so again, this is the mauve one down here, which wouldn't really use. I think it kind of washes me out in a bit. Can you see how it kind of washes me out? But I mean, for like those no makeup days, it's okay. I usually don't want something that light. This is really pretty. So if in a way I would probably combine these two, and to be honest, like I'm showing you these separately just so you can see when I'm doing makeup day to day. Really, I'm just doing this. I'll combine it, and same with my Hourglass palettes. I don't even go separately in the pan. I just kind of mix it, and it kind of seems to come together. So yeah, in the reality, I'll be mixing these two, so it won't be unused. Okay, so clearly I've over blushed on here, but I just want you to see. And I'll get in close so you can see. Really pretty. Again, this is more of the matte one. This has the sheen down here. And back, I reapplied my base, which is that Chanel Le Beige and BO53 with the olive undertone. This is squirrel hair. Gosh, I really hope so. So I think I got this for free from a Japanese beauty place. So we're gonna try that one. I don't know the name of it, so don't ask me. I don't know. It's pretty pigmented. So what I'm gonna do is just kind of do this first. And when, for me with squirrel hair, what I like is that the application tends to be a little bit more delicate and diffuses better, especially if you have like really pigmented blush. Actually, I think I like this one more than this one because it has too much sheen, but maybe it looks better on camera. You tell me. I really do like this because it's kind of like the intensity of this one, but doesn't have the sheen. But I'm just more of this type of person who tends to like matte blushes. And matte blushes, if at most, with a light sheen. Okay, so that is that shade right here. Up here, and then this one is here. There's definitely more blue purple in this one. A little bit more brown, kind of like sun-kissed. I mean, they're both beautiful. This is a Fenty Beauty highlight brush. It kind of hugs the area. I'm gonna do, let me show you what that looks like. It's very blingy. I don't like really like blingy highlights. That's just a preference thing. So I'm just going in here really lightly and just lightly adding that. Okay, that's as much as I want. I've never been a highlighter person, and I actually don't really buy highlighters, but that's pretty. I think that looks like more natural. This is the kind of sheen that I'm okay with, but I do think I do need to clean up this because the blush kind of got out of hand. Okay, what I might do is add some here. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it. Sometimes what I do too is I might just take my hand and just add it on the high points. There you go. Why don't I just add a little bit of this and see what happens? Let's see if it changes any of it. I would probably put that in the front to like tamp things down. Yeah, it just adds like another layer. It's like layering blush, because why not? Pretty. Okay, so you can use that still, even if it's light. So let's do the eye makeup. So I have 4 of these from the previous releases, and it came in like a peppermint green, a matte purple, this kind of rose gold, which you can see this is the one I've used the most, and then this like shimmery purple one. So I think the ones that are closest to it are these last 2 ones. What's different this year, as I'm looking at it, is that the packaging is different. So it's for Rouge Noir, and so it's black, but instead of white lettering for Chanel, it's red. That is the only difference. It does come with like 2 little brushes, like a sponge brush and then a little application brush. So here are the 2 shades. Brune Rose looks definitely more neutral versus the Glacé Peach. And they're both satin formula. So this is the one from last year. It's definitely more orange. And this one is the Brune Rose. Definitely lighter, but also more neutral. And then the Gris Rose from this year. Definitely more just traditional silver versus shimmery purple. Brune Rose, Rosé, Brune Rose 267. Very neutral, very light. It's really pretty. You can see using it as a wash of color, like light wash of color, or you can build the pigment on that. And then the Gris Rose, really very ethereal, kind of like just wash of color as well. This is hands down one of my favorite brushes, just because it's so easy for one and dones. This is the Chikuhodo brush. It's squirrel hair. So pretty. Like, it's easy just to do this, and then you can put it on its side and make a crease. Okay, so you're in close. So this is the Brune Rose. Okay, because I'm so warm, it pulls a lot of the warmth already. So the warmth that you're seeing here, this is on my paler side of my skin, it kind of gets eaten up on my face. Can you see, like, definitely compared my face to my middle of my arm, I'm much more deeper and warmer. And this is what I mean, like my winter shade, if I had no sun on my face, this is what I would look. I'd be like so much more paler, like a light medium olive. But yeah, this is what getting tan does to you. Pretty. It's a one and done. This is a Surratt brush, also a squirrel hair. Okay, and that's this one. That's pretty. I actually like that one more just because it actually has more contrast with my complexion than the other one. Okay, so Gris Rose on this one. That's a really unique color. I think it's really pretty. It has like some different shifts. Oh, the sun's coming out. How rude. Has definitely some shifts. This is it in the sun. It's like too blown out. So this is the Gris Rose. And then this is the Brune Rose satin down here. Yeah, it's definitely more brown. What I'm going to do is swatch the Peach Glacé, which I used a lot of last year, and just kind of show you what that looks like underneath. Definitely has more peach and orange in it. I love this one. Just think it's probably more flattering because there's definitely more of a contrast. And then let me pull the one that was cool toned as well, Mauve Ciré. This one. Swatch it here. very similar, but more of a purple tone. So I would say, this is what I would say. If you got these two Ombre Essentials from last year, I don't think you necessarily need the new ones. But if you missed out, I would say, definitely, I would say if you're my complexion, get this one. I like the cool tone. This one, you got to know your complexion and what's going to look best on you. For me, I am not a fan of this. It just is not really a flattering color. Like, it doesn't do anything for me, and if it's like too much, it could like look really bad on me. So yeah, that's kind of my first impression. I did my liner, the liner that came out last year, Brune Purple. I love this one. I love this so much that I actually got a backup of it. This is again what I don't like about Chanel, is that these things are limited edition, and then once they're gone, they're gone. And like, these colors are just so fantastic. I just wish they were part of the original line. I think she also came, or they came out with also a green one, and I got a backup of that as well. So that's what's on my eyes. Okay, I am back. I finished with that Chanel special edition liner, Brune Purple. It's like a brown purple. And then kind of my favorite long wearing mascara, waterproof Volume de Chanel. This is one of my favorites. And I just been mostly putting that at the top. I have to say, after I did my liner and my mascara, I do like, it's not bad. I'm just not a huge fan of that, the deeper one on this side. You let me know if it looks nice. I just think that, I guess for a more neutral, cool look, it looks nice. It looks like I have something on my eyes. I just necessarily, I don't know if I'd pull for it. Let's get some lipstick on my lips. This is the shade that I picked up from the collection, Rouge Allure Velvet 377, Audacieuses, which I'm not saying that correctly in French, but it might translate to audacious. It came out, this collection came out with, I want to say, three colors and then one special edition, which was the deep one. I didn't get my hands on it. It had like special edition packaging, but I had to like just talk to myself about, like, I shouldn't just be getting lipstick just because it has a different packaging color. Like, I have to like the lipstick. So I got this because I think maybe I'll wear this one more on the daily versus the vampiness of the one that was limited edition, which I already have in so many different formulas and brands. And then what was the other thing? Oh, Rouge, the Rouge Lax. I've tried that product before. I swatched them in store. One was like a purple, one I think was like a pink maybe. I think the colors are pretty, but I just don't like that formula, so I decided not to get that. This is the shade. It looks really pretty. Very pigmented, very orange. It's more orange than I thought it would be. Yeah, I mean, it works well with what I'm wearing. I'm just not really one to wear a lot of orange. And what I want to do actually is put some lip liner on there. Lip liner, and this is the one from Chanel. This is Brune Foncé. And then it has like a little lip brush, but I hardly ever use that. What I actually use is like this kind of, I want to say, oh yeah, this is a rougher brush. Okay, so that is the shade 377. Yeah, 377. I think somehow it works. Even though the blush is very pink, it kind of still comes together. I think more on this side of my face because this is like neutral warm and this is very cool. It doesn't really match this side of the face, but definitely this side. Okay, so let's talk about the collection. I would have to say that some people were, it seemed like we're kind of like not super, I don't know, excited. I'm not sure. I can't speak for other people. What I'll say is I'll speak for myself. This is all first impressions. I really do enjoy this color story. I know what works on me, which are like raspberries, jewel tones. This is just definitely more in my wheelhouse. So I would say out of all the pieces that I got, this is the favorite product that I have. And that's what I was hoping. Like, I'm so glad that the blush looks really beautiful on me, and it's probably my favorite purchase out of all these. And like I said, I'm pretty familiar with like this formula because I have too many of these already. I'd have to say, like, I use these as blush palettes. In a pinch, I might use them as eyeshadow, but I really prefer not to. And what I've been doing is if I'm pulling for them, I will just pull those singles, right? I'm not going to lift the other one I have just because it started to fall out, the peachy one, orange one. But you can see where they had more of like, these are, it looks very similar, right? Like these at the end, but like this one is more for the party. The middle one is what they started off with, more red tones and browns. And now they're going like more fuchsia, which I'm fine with it. I think it looks beautiful. What I don't like about Chanel is that it gets hard for me as the collection is expanding. I don't know what I'm reaching for. So even if I have these laid out, I actually don't lay them out this way. I actually lay them out by this side so I can see the product of like this small little sticker of what the product I'm reaching for. So I have to say this is my favorite of the entire release. My second favorite one would be this Grease Rose. I think this is really pretty, especially if you didn't get any of the singles Ombre Essentials from last year. I could use this one anytime, and I think it's like pretty generic, and I can use like a nice liner as a contrast. Like against this liner, you can see more of the brown purple of the liner, and I really do like it. I think it looks really pretty. I would say that unless you can get the lipstick color you want, I would say pass on the lipsticks. And then I'm not a fan of this one I have on my eye. And let me know if I'm just like having a first impression of like blah, I don't like it. But I think this one doesn't look really good on my skin tone. I think part of it, okay, I'm just going to show you. This is what I look at. And this is why I kind of didn't follow my rule of like, I wanted to really wait to see products and swatch them in store before I bought them. So if I can do that moving forward, I will do this. But this collection kind of like popped in and out and disappeared. So can you see how this shade looks very similar to my actual skin tone? It's very like, there's like a brown undertone, a little bit of warmth. And this is what I mean by dusky. If it looks so close to me and then it gets a little bit deeper, it can kind of look not really like flattering for me. So let me know. Maybe I'm just not used to it and I just should try it out more. Maybe I'll just put this on my top shelf and like force myself to use it. But that's the one on this side. Again, I'm just not used to it. But I think with this lipstick color, it looks really lovely. I did not like this lipstick by itself, but when I added the Brune Foncé lip the lip liner, it just kind of grounded the entire look. And I just been using a lot more brown liner, which is kind of a trend, I'll admit, like using brown liner and overlining and then putting some gloss on it. This is Merit, and I'm just gonna put some here. Yep. And that's kind of what I've been doing. I've been using not so much lipstick but lip balms and using just a lot of liner. And I've been using less makeup in general. So I think this looks really nice together. You know, I think it's a nice look, but if there was like only one thing I had to get from this release, it would definitely be the this one, the Rouge Noir Confidence. I really love this. Everything else I don't really need. It's just more like a desire to try out. But let me know what you think. And that's it for my final review, beauty fan. Let me know if you picked up anything from this collection. Did you like or not like any of the products I showed you today? Yeah, let me know what you've been using lately and if you're gonna pick up anything actually from the new Chanel spring release. I'm actually not going to pick any of that denim blue collection. I think it looks lovely. I just don't think it's gonna show up on someone of my complexion. And I also have, number one, some blue makeup already and like too much makeup. So I'm like heavily curating what I buy moving forward. And yeah, I'm just gonna be really curating and shopping my stash. So if you want to see some videos of me shopping my stash, let me know. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, Beauty Fam. Remember to comment, like, and comment down below. Helps me out in engagement on my channel. And as always, please be very kind with yourself and others, and just be you. Until the next video, Beauty Fam, take good care. Bye.